Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and it's not going to be a Sudoku today. Now, this is going to be the start of what I'm calling debut week. We'll be featuring, well, I hope it's going to be 4 puzzles by setters new to the channel, constructors that we haven't featured before. That is rather dependent on whether I'm correct that we haven't featured them before and on whether I can solve all 4 puzzles and they make videos. So we shall see about that. I don't know for sure what the situation there is, but that's the plan. And these will be kind of, they might get interrupted, I suppose, by a gas video, but the next 4 videos of individual puzzles that I'm going to try to do are by 4 debut setters. And this one is by Overleur, which, if my schoolboy French is right, is kind of the French for catch that thief, to the thief. Although I seem to remember voler can mean to fly as well as to steal, so maybe there are alternative interpretations. Now, this is not a Sudoku. This is a pencil puzzle, a Fillomino specifically, although with an interesting Sudoku twist. We'll get to that in a moment. Don't forget, all of our content on Patreon will be working up towards the first of the month soon, and some new content for Patreons, a new competition that we always release on the first of each month. And we've been putting up loads of content there basically. So Patreon is always a good source of further puzzles, and so is Discord, where you can also chat away about Sudoku and other puzzles to your heart's content with a like-minded audience who are very welcoming. We've also, of course, got all our apps, and do check out everything in the links under the video. But the first link is to this puzzle. It is not a Sudoku. It is called Fillomino XV. And what you have to do in a Fillomino is divide the grid along the lines into regions called polyominoes, so that no 2 polyominoes with the same area share an edge. So you could have a region like that, which would be a 5-cell polyomino. Then you could have another one like that, which would be a 3-cell polyomino. Now, in this puzzle, each cell contains a digit which is the size of the polyomino it's in. So if you did have that as a 5 area and that as a 3 area, we would fill in the numbers like that. So that is disobeying the normal Sudoku rules of not having numbers in the same columns or next to each other. So I'm going to have to get used to that. It's something I find difficult when switching to pencil puzzles, I have to admit. Now, we have some V's and X's. The digits in 2 cells joined by a V sum to 5, and in 2 cells joined by X sum to 10. All possible X's and V's are given. Now, this is important. There is a huge, I imagine, negative constraint in this puzzle. All possible X's and V's are given. So if these 2 added up to 5, there would have to be a V between them, so they can't. And they also can't add up to 10. It's an intriguing idea to mix with a Fillomino. And I'm not sure I've ever seen a Fillomino before with no given digits in the grid. In fact, when I looked up the standard rules of Fillomino to copy them over on GM Puzzles, they began with, there are some given digits in the grid, and I had to kind of cut that out because there aren't. So that is the puzzle we have. Do give it a try on the link under the video. I'm not sure that the software is going to understand a correct solution here, so you may just have to work out that you've done it right or compare it with mine at the end of the video. But I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. And I mean, this is one of the puzzles where I say let's get cracking, and I have no idea how to get cracking. Okay, I mean, I guess we know that there are region boundaries wherever the V's and X's appear. No, that's not true. There are region boundaries wherever the V's appear. I mean, I could go into the pen tool and draw lines, but I'm probably just going to try and do this by colouring. Right, there are region boundaries where the V's appear. Okay, I'm beginning to get an idea now. So they have to be in different regions. Now I know that because a V means it's separating either a 1 and a 4 or a 2 and a 3. And therefore they're different regions because they have different content markers. Now X, I was going to say the same is true, but of course X could be 5 and 5. Oh, hang on. Right. X could be 5 and 5, but none of the X's in this puzzle are 5 and 5. And that's because of the negative constraint rule. All possible X's and V's are given. So if these two that I'm in were in a 5-5, were in a 5 pentomino, well, the problem there is that pentomino would need to have 3 more 5s. So if you had one here, well, hang on, where's the X between those two cells? So you could get very close here. They could be 5s, but you still need one more 5 cell. And it would have to have an X to whichever of those cells it was joined onto. So actually, no, there are always region boundaries between the X's and the V's in this puzzle. You could come up with a Fillomino XV where there wasn't, but you would need 5 X's, 5 5s strung together with X's. Right. Now, I am beginning to get an idea here because, yes, this is great. Okay, look, I can fill in 1 4 there. Why can I do that? Because if these were 2 3, look what would happen to this orange region. It would have to go there to make up at least 2. And the purple region, remember, this is going to be different again because it's separated by a V. So the purple region would have to come here. And now you'd have purple and orange together. They're clearly the same digits as they are up there. That's how Fillomino works. But there's no V there. So they're not 2 and 3. And this is a 1 4 pair. Let's actually make that a different color. Now, one of these does extend out. Right, I don't think this can be the 1. Oh, hang on, maybe it can. I was just thinking, if this is the 1, how's the 4 going to extend out? Because it can't come here. So it would have to go through the X. But it could do that. Okay, so I don't know the truth there. That's also 1 or 4 because it's on a V with that one. Oh, come on. Can I not work out which way round 1 and 4 go? If that was a 1, that would also have to be a 1. That would be a 4. And it couldn't go there or there, so it would have to come here. No, but again, this could work. You could have 6. Oh no, look, this doesn't work. Okay, I'm sorry if this feels like bifurcation. I mean, I could visualize this, but it does help to show it. This is brilliant. This doesn't work because of this cell. Yes, you could create 4 like that. Now, why didn't I put 4 here? Because if I'm going to have to put a 6 here on the X, then I'm going to have to put 6 here as well to make a 6 shape. So no 4 there. That's why I bent it round to that side. 4s obviously can't touch the 1s. But what can this be? It can't be 4 because it would be touching 1. It can't be 6 because it would be touching a 4 without an X. And it can't be a new shape because it would be another 1. And the rule is that no 2 polyominoes with the same area share an edge. So that is not a 1. Wow, okay, so this is the wrong way round, and in fact it goes 4 1 4 at the top. And I think now this shape has to be the one I drew, because 4 can't go into that cell because it would have a V. So we get a 4 there, then it has to keep extending to there. It clearly can't extend to here because that's now a 6 by the rule, and that's a 4. Actually, what I might do on the colours is let's use, I'll see how far this can go anyway. I'm going to use the colours of our palette. Like if you were in the color button and you pressed 4, you'd get green. So I'll make them green. That makes 1 light grey, and that 4 is green. So right, now we've got this 6. that cannot go here or here because they would use the negative constraint. They would have to have an X to the green 4. So 6 can't touch a green cell, so it goes here. It also can't go in a V cell. So this 6 has to now bend down here, avoid there and go there. And we know 4 of the 6 shape. After that, I can't seem to stop it going into any of those. Actually, I can stop it going here because this isn't allowed to be a 1, 4 or 6 for the same sort of reasons that wasn't allowed to. But that doesn't really help. I don't know whether the 6 carries on into either of these or both of them. So I'm kind of limited. Now, this 4 can't go south because it would touch a 6 and not have an X. So it goes there. Then it can go here or both. This cell can't be in a 1, so it's got to be in at least 2. Okay, so I'm going to go off-piste on my color scheme and join them together with blue. I mean, I doubt very much that it's a 9 shape. In fact, it can't be a 9 shape because of that 1, but it is bigger than 1. Now, we could have shapes that are bigger than 9 in this puzzle, but they won't be touching the X's or V's if we do. And they'll be difficult for me to notate in our software because I can't write 10 in a cell, but I doubt that it's going to happen. Now, does this have to be or cannot be in the blue shape? Blue could be 2. I don't think that's breaking any rules. This one. Right. This can't be a 4-1 pair on the V because one of the 4s would touch the 6. So that is a 2-3 pair. Oh, and now this is constrained, I think. There's no... Yeah, that's interesting. Is it? Hang on. Well, I'm going to say that this cell can't be a 2 or a 3. It also can't be a 1. It can still be a 4. It can't be a 1 because it would need a V with the 4. The reason I think it can't be a 2 is because that would make this a 2, and that would be shutting in a 2-cell region. So that would be 2 2s there, sharing an edge with a 2-2 pair there. So it can't be a 2. Can it be a 3? And I think the answer is again no, because it would join on with this cell. It would have to finish there, but this would be a 2 here. So where would the V be between 2 and 3? So this cannot be 1, 2, or 3. It can't be 5 because it would escape here. And we've worked out there's no 5s on the X's because there aren't enough of them. It can't be 6 because it would need to join onto the 4. Now, it's either huge, therefore, and of course, if it is 7 or 8, it could join onto those, I think. Or it can't be 9. Oh, well, this cell could be 9 if that's a 2 enclosed. I don't know. I'm very tempted to think that it is a 4, but I'm just going to write 4, 7, 8, 9 as a sort of placeholder because it could be a 10 or an 11, but now actually it can't because it's got to go through that X if it does. So it certainly isn't a 10 or an 11. Right, 4, 7, 8, 9. I think those are definitely the possibilities there. I'm not really sure how to progress working them out. Now, I was tempted to write this as a 1-4 pair, but actually I don't think that's right because it could be a 2-3 pair with those joining together in the same shape. In fact, that seems quite likely. Oh, crumbs, how do you get going in this? I mean, I barely feel I've started. Now, does that have to be a 4? If it wasn't, this 4 would go like that. Yeah, and that wouldn't work because this shape, if that is a 4, this shape is going to have to come out here. And this is going to be a 2 or a 3, and this is going to have to be a 7 or an 8. So if this is a 4, this is a 7 or 8, which is a bit unlikely. But anyway, it means this shape doesn't go that way. This must be a 4. Oh, and we've worked out this doesn't go north. This can't be a 2 or a 3 for 2 different reasons to do with this. So actually, this shape does come out here. Let's make that yellow. I don't think it's going to finish, well, it's not. It's going to finish being dark grey or black for 2 or 3. And this is 2 or 3. It's part of the same shape. So this is 7 or 8 here. Well, that's interesting. So this is going to have to be 7 or 8. Whatever happens to this 7 or 8 shape, it's going to have to come into this cell. Now, it could still be occupying some of these. No, it can't. It cannot be here. The same 7 or 8 there can't be here because they're both yellow beneath. And if they have an X in one case, they'd need an X in another. So this is not 7 or 8. It's clearly not 9 now because that can't fit in. So it's 4. Wow, this is intricate. But this is now 7 or 8. Okay, so the 4 shape's finished. This shape's finished. That's a 2. Let's colour it dark grey to follow the palette colouring. It hasn't told us whether this is a 2 or a 3. Now this shape can't come here because again you'd need a V there. So that carries on down here. Let's make that one blue for now. One of these needs an extra digit being a 3. That extra digit is not here because it would connect to either blue or yellow. So this is a 1-4 pair. I could have written that in earlier, but not for the reasons I was thinking. This is fascinating, this puzzle. Now, this cannot be yellow because the 7-8 has come out here and would have to join up. So this is finished. That is a 2. Let's make it dark grey. This one is a 3, therefore, and is black and needs another digit in one of these 2 positions. And the 6, yeah, the 6 can't come here because that would enclose this. Yes, we worked that out earlier. So 6 there, we've got 5, 6 cells. We need another 1 in one of those positions. The 3 could easily curl. The 2, right, this 7-8 can't come down here. It can come to here. I suppose it could get out this way. Well, otherwise it's going to go, it seems quite likely that it, I don't know, no, hang on. Right. Now, if it was to fill one of these X cells, well, it can't get to this one because it would have to loop around here or through here, and then it would touch this cell as well. And that's impossible because if this shape was giving a 7 or 8 to that cell, its counterpart 2 or 3 in an X would be there, and then you'd need an X between those 2. So it doesn't get to there. So if it goes into this X pair, it goes in here. And then it mustn't go here, or it would need an X to here. So if it goes into the X, to get 7, you're going to have to come into this cell. If it doesn't go into the X, I suppose you don't have, I thought I was going to prove this cell was part of that 7 or 8 shape, which doesn't come here, does it? Now, if this was a 4, it would have to come down to here. And to avoid that 6, it would have to come all the way down. If this was a 4, it's a vertical line. And that's because it can't come through this cell, because if that's a 4, that's a 1, and then this can't be another 4, or you'd need a V between them. Ah, this is so interesting. The logic here is so different from anything I normally do. I'm quite potentially being much slower than you to understand how it works, but you'll have to bear with me because I'm not used to either Fillomino or this particular constraint and negative constraint. I mean, it's definitely the negative that's the most interesting thing here. Now, I can't work out whether to continue thinking about the 1, 4 or the 3 or the 6 or maybe this cell. This can't be a 1, so it joins onto this. Or maybe I should just work on the 7, 8, which cannot come down here. So does it definitely come to this cell? Tempted to assume it does. If it goes there, it must also go here, because this can't be shut out as a 1, or it would join to a 4. Don't know. I just don't know whether it touches this. Right, it can't come here. So if it doesn't go in there, then it would have to go all the way along here. If it doesn't go into this X pair, and the only place it can go is there. So if it doesn't go into there, it must come all the way along here, and that's 6. And then it can't come down here, so it would have to be there. So if it avoids this X pair, then all of those, then it must be a 7. Oh, it's not a 7. Honestly, it's an 8 because it's next to a 2. Right, now I do know. Now I do know because it can't avoid this X. It's not allowed to come here. If it avoided this X, because it can't come here, it would have to go along here. Remember, it's avoiding that X pair. It would have to come into this cell. Now it has to avoid the bottom cell of this X pair because there's no X to connect it to. So you could get 7 cells, but you wouldn't be allowed there to make up the 8. So it must come into this X, which is really important, I think. That, well, in the sense that it gives us a 2 here as well. Now it can't go through here, and it's an 8, so it's got to come through this cell to get out. The maximum you could have here is 6, and it's not allowed there, so it's got to come out through here. Ah, this is so clever. Look, this 2, where does that go? It's not allowed here because there's no X between those 2 cells. If it came here, you'd get another 8 here that isn't allowed there or there because there's no X there. So it doesn't come here. So the 2 finishes up here. Now that can't be an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could make that an 8, but we still need 2 more somewhere further down here. I don't think I can do them at the moment, but let's not worry about that. Okay, let's be quite interested about what if this was a 1? What happens here? It obviously can't be another 1, or it would kind of join on. Well, it would share an edge, that's the point. It can't be part of this because that's complete. It can't be part of 8 because that would touch a 2 without an X, and it can't be anything else because that would start a new region. So that is not a 1. That is a 4. That's a 1. 4 is green. Now I think we can probably say, well, yeah, this can't be a 1 because it would be touching a 4. So it's something that's already started. It's got to be a 4. It's not allowed to be an 8 again. So there's a 4 there, 4 there. That's 3 of that 4. It could go here, but it would be blocking the 8 quite hard. It can't go here. It could go here, but that would create a 6. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. What about this 2 thing though? What 10 shape is this next to the 2? The 8's not allowed in it. This yellow 8 shape that we're creating. Oh, and whatever cell is here can't come round to here. So this is, well, it's 1, 2, it's 1 or 2 because it's not allowed to be as big as 3. It can't come round to here because there's no x between those 2. And it can't be 2. That's got to be a 1. So this is a 9. This is a genuine 9, which can't come out through the V, so it must come out through here. It can certainly touch the 2 and 8. Now what's going on with these V's? Right, this one, this side, it can't be a 1 because it would be next to a 9. It can't be a 2 because that would shut in one cell which isn't allowed to be a 1 or a 2. So this is a 3, must be. And that means this is a 2 pair. Now I'm cracking on. This is part of a 3 that must come down. It's not allowed to go there. Now the 9 is forced into all of these cells. The 9 can't come out through here because that would make this a 1, but it can't be a 1 because there's no connection there. So maybe the 9 could go here, but that would only be 5, 6. So the 9 needs 3 more. So it can come through here if that's a 1. No, it can't because one of those 2's a 4. I don't know which one, but one of them's a 4, and that doesn't have a V with this cell. So that can't be a 1. So the 9 doesn't come through here. So it's got to come through here. Now the only reason I'm not extending that 1 more is because I just want to count them up. 5, 6, 7. We could still have a 9 here, right? But we are going to have 1 more at least here. Wow. Oh no, the 8 has to come out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can't both be 8 because that can't be. In fact, what's this cell? It's not allowed to be 2 or 8. And it's in a region that's bounded there, so it's got to be a 1. And this now can't be 1 or well, it can only be 8. So we've got 6 cells of the 8, and we're going to finish it off now because it has to come out here. We've got most of the top 4 rows done. That's quite exciting. Oh, and the 8 has joined on to a cell with the X, so that's a pair of 2's. Now the 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, we need 1 more 9. Does it go? No, it doesn't go there because the 3 needs to go there. That's the 9, and that's really helpful because that's on a number. I mean, it's on an X, is what I mean. So those are both 1's. That is another 9 again. Good grief. This is an incredibly helpful run of X's that I didn't think would happen. So this new 9 region has to come along here. Can't go up there touching the 1, so it has to keep going here. Can't go into there because that would make a 1 here, which isn't allowed, so it carries on here. And that's about as much as I can do, but that is 6 cells of it already done. This pair has to form at least a 2. I don't really want to colour them yet. Right, the 4, we can finish that off into this cell. That gives us another 1 here. No, that's an X. Read them carefully, you fool. That's a 6. Oh, that's a 6, and it's not part of this shape because that would take 7 cells. So that 6 comes down here, might go here. This, I think, can be a 3 or a 6. But the 3 could come straight down or curl, and this could be a new shape if it curls. 6 can't come here, but it could go there, or obviously here. Wow, I mean, this is fascinating, this puzzle. It's so intricately clever. I haven't done a puzzle like this. I think Simon's done quite a few, not of exactly this sort, but he thinks his way through these much more cleverly, to be fair. Now, come on, what next? Do I know what that is? This thing? this thing, I maybe shouldn't colour it blue because I'm now beginning to get used to blue being 9 and 8 being yellow and so on. I haven't had any 5s or 7s yet. Yeah, okay, that's an interesting thought. I started wondering, are we going to get any 5s? Because they can't touch the X's we worked out. Now I'm beginning to think we don't have very many cells left to fill. And yet we've got an X there that can't be part of, oh, maybe it could be part of this 6. I was going to say it can't be neither part of it can be touching any region we've already begun. But can it be the 6? No, it couldn't come here and be 6 because that would be a 4. And how are you going to make up this 4 shape? Just nonsense. Can that be a 6? And the answer is no again. For at least 2 reasons. One is that you kind of got to shut in a pair of cells that can't both be 1s, can't be a 2 pair because they'd be touching a 2, but also because this would become a 4 and would have to come out through here. So that's not a 6. I don't think that can be part of any shape we've already started. Now, why I'm getting interested about that is because this can't be part of anything we've already started as well. So this X pair is representing a combined region of 10 cells. And they have to come out somewhere. The maximum they can get in the white cells we have here is 8. So they have to come out there and there, or there and there, or there and there, or if they don't use all of those 8, further. But that's quite interesting because the 6 can't carry on down forever. In fact, can 6 go there? What happens if that's a 6? And look, this is really interesting. It can't. Because the furthest the 9 could go, now I'm trying to maximize the area in which this pair of cells that forms a 10 can occupy. And that's only 9 cells. But the 9 can't just come along here forever because it hits this V cell. So the 9 would have to turn up there. And with a 6 there, you'd have hemmed in 9 cells in an area that needs to be 10. So the 6 does not go there. This 6 has to come left to keep going. And that forces this 6 to finish left as well. I don't know that this is all one shape. I'm going to uncolour those cells. This one, bother, it's a 1 or a 3. This 6 now has to turn south because it can't go there. Now this region that I'm anxious to avoid bounding in, 3, 5, 8, 9, it has to use this cell. This is part of this exciting new region. I'm going to colour this region purple. It's going to take those 2 cells. It's definitely going to take that cell. Oh! It can't take both of these, I believe. And the reason is that these 2 have to be different shades of purple. Okay, let's use different colours. Let's go purple and red and make that purple or red. So the region of the region of 10 cells that is purple and red, it can include these 2, although it doesn't have to. But I don't think it can include both of those. That's what I'm going to say, because either you get purple here, which needs an X to the red here, or you get red here, and then you get either red or purple here, and there's a missing X again. So it can't include both those. I don't think 6 can come in here. 6 isn't allowed there. And we worked out 6 can't get there. So this is going to have to be 9 or 1. It's not in the region because we can't use both of those. So that is probably blue, but I'm not writing the 9 in. Oh no, it can't be 1 because it would be touching a 9. So it is blue, it is 9. This purple and red escapes through here. Well, in fact, this is on the purple side of the cross, of the X. So they're all purple. And I bet these are purple and these are red. Hang on, let's finish off the 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That finishes off the 9. Oh, now that's bounded in. Oh, it hasn't bounded in enough. Oh, hang on, I've got something wrong. Ah, yes, I have. I've miscounted 9. That's a relief. Oh, gosh, okay, because once I added that in, that was a 7th cell. A 7th cell, not a 6th. So I don't need all these 3. So that we will get rid of. The 9 has to come here and finish. Now the purple has to keep escaping here. It doesn't have to go any further necessarily. If those are both purple and those are red, 7 and 3, that would work. So I don't know that purple carries on. In fact, we're now into this V territory. Oh, and this can't be a 1 because it's next to a 9. So this needs to escape up here, and that bounds in the purple. I bet that's a 2, but I don't know. Let's call it yellow for now. But the purple and red have been bound in. So purple, well, what colour? Oh, 7 should be red, sorry. But this is a 3, and that should be black. So 3 is black, and we'll make this purple area red and give it a 7, and that's all done. And now this, now this can't be a 3 because it would be touching a 7. Ooh, I was tempted to say it can't be a 4 because it wouldn't be allowed here. We've worked out it can't be a 1, so it's 2, 3 or 4 to be sitting on a V. It can't be 3 because it goes there. So can it be 4? Yeah, no, it can't be 4 because if that was 1, that wouldn't be allowed to be 4. So the 4 would have to come up here and would clash with the 6. So that is a 2. Brilliant. That's brilliant. What a brilliant puzzle. This is so clever. So those are 2s. This is a 3. And it's not allowed onto this cell because it would be touching a 2. So it's got to come up here, hit the X. So now we get another 7. Suddenly we had no red at one point. Now we've got tons. This can't be red. So red, oh, the 6 has to finish off. It's only got 4. It could take that. So the 6 has to come here. That's orange. Oh, this can't be a 6. It's touching a 4, you numptician. Right, that's a 3. This must be a 1 now. 6 needs another cell. It's got to be here. This is sealed off 1. That's all right. That doesn't clash with anything. Now, this 7... Right, I mean the max it could have if it used those was 4, then it has to come all the way up to here. But the max it can get up here is 6, so it's going to use that. So we need, they're all red. We need one more 7 cell, and the other one is a 1, and that 1 can't be here because it would be next to a 4. What a brilliant puzzle. I did not expect this. Oh, I didn't expect... Wow, hats off to Sven. Apparently the software is able to recognize a Fillomino solution. I mean, it wouldn't understand the XV bit, I wouldn't have thought. So we would have to make sure that that's right. But look at that, I think this all works. And that is an incredibly exciting puzzle. So clever. I mean, once you get used to the negative constraint, it just gets better and better as you go. And there's such big shapes in it. 9s, 8s, 7s and 6s. Everything but a 5, which we ruled out in the first minute. Oh, that's so brilliant. What a puzzle. Love it. Thank you, Overlur. That is a real treat. I hope you enjoyed trying that and maybe even watching my solution, but I really enjoyed it. So hope that came across. Thank you so much for watching as always, and Hope to see you again during, wow, well, it's a great auspicious start to debut week, isn't it? That's brilliant. Thanks, Ovala, and thank you. Bye for now.